Hey everybody, it's a Wolfpack again. How you doing? Happy Martin Luther King Day. I know there's a lot in my area that don't really participate in that or agree with that, but well, I guess maybe we're different that way. Uh, I stopped being prejudiced when I went to the Marine Corps and the Army. I don't see people of color anymore. They're either green or black green or dark green. That's pretty much the way I look at it. But we all bleed red, so. Title of this video is gonna shut up and pay me, because after doing some research on the amount of bills and the amount of money we're paying out here in Huntington, Texas, in the great Angelina County, home of the bubble where we live, you can't get in. If you do, we'll kick you out. Anyway, so it's gonna be shut up and pay me. Well, we were actually getting into 2018. We're getting ready to do our new budget for 2018. However, there's one thing that I think Huntington is learning now that the rest of the world has known for a long period of time. But as I said, we live in a bubble, so things always work differently for us. But here's where it gets, where we got to wake up and smell the Java, so to speak. First of all, we're learning in Huntington that the good old boy network is getting smaller and smaller. The day of the backroom deals and the swappies and the things that won't really pay you any money, but I'll swap you this for that. The bartering system, well, it thrived, doing well down here in Southeast Texas. But however, the fact is now with growth, as I said, growth by the rest of the state, it kind of got away from that bartering system a lot, it seems, and maybe Huntington needs to be aware of it, because I think they're just getting ready to get slapped in the face, and if they haven't already, I believe they're getting slapped in the face more than what they wish right now. Well, hold on to your calculator, I'm going to get away. We've got creditors out there that are finding out that Huntington can't make their payments, full payments on the loan that they loaned out. A lot of these individuals have gone off for a time and said, okay, you know what, well, we'll give you time, we'll give you this, or what, but we want a payment by this date. Well, it comes that date, and well, we don't have it, so then we have to go back, and our brilliant city manager says, we're just going to go in and renegotiate these deals, and what we're going to do is we're going to just ask them if they'll just take 50 cents on the dollar. Back in the old days, I guess that would work, but I don't believe nowadays companies work that way, because, see, they're losing money. And what they're going to say is, I can almost tell you word by word, is, I'm sorry to hear about that. Hope things get better for you. Shut up and pay me. This is like to be the old mafia saying, I don't care, I have the money on time when I want it. Shut up and pay me. There's not really a good going to come out of it. And some of these issues, well, with our credit cards, well, we're $4 million in debt right now. Can't wait to see what it is for 2018. But we got a Visa card that goes around. We spend $1,000 a month. We can't really tell where that money goes, because hell, the receipts don't really tell you. Anyway, $1,000 on a credit card, that's not figured in on the budget, so I guess it don't matter if it don't show up on the budget. And then we got the employees, our city employees, who on payday don't really give a rat's ass about how bad you screwed up the economy or how bad you're doing in your job. It's payday. Shut up and pay me. In order to do that, what the city has had to do is actually go and borrow money from another account so they can make their payroll. Now, I sit down, it's going to get better, because what they do is, well, since they don't have the money, and they haven't told people, what they do is they make a budget amendment. Yeah, I know for most of you out there, especially you economists, and for a lot of professionals that deal in this kind of thing, well, every time you do an amendment, that means you weren't very good at figuring your damn budget. The key is that you don't want to get through the whole damn year without having making a budget adjustment. Well, we do that 4 times a year. We can't be told we don't know. There's only certain receipts on how many times we make payroll. I know of 2 that I see receipts for. One was for $50,000 that they said, well, we're going to the well. Well, it didn't. It went right to the payroll. And then we got $26,000 in March of last year that, you know, well, we got to borrow against the payroll again. So I don't blame our city official. I mean, I don't blame our city employee. Payday. I don't give a shit. Pay me. You know, I don't work for free. I'm sorry to hear about your woes. I'm just doing what you tell me, and I'm doing it very good. So you know what? Pay me. Even though your ideas are running us around in circles, I'll do what I'm told, even though I know it's bullshit. But then again, we go in. That's what happened. Shut up and pay me. I don't blame you. I would too. I might go to another extent to say that if they didn't make my payroll, I didn't get a paycheck. I don't want to come home and tell my wife that. So you know what? On payday, I might be coming home with some computers and shit to make up for that salary. But there I go, off to go in jail again. They're just looking for a reason. Shut up and pay me goes to a lot of places too, because the fact is that whenever your taxes are due to the city of Huntington, it really don't matter what excuse you have, even a death in the family or some kind of crisis like this or that. City comes to your door and says, shut up and pay me. Sorry to hear about that. Shut up and pay me. Hang on, we're going to raise your utility rates, okay? We're going to cut off your water, so shut up and pay me there too. For you businesses here that want to do business in our town, shut up and pay me. Pay the city. Now, I don't know if you guys understand the repercussions of this, because I know for a fact, and a lot of you individuals out there can attest to this, that whenever a business comes in to a certain area, they have projected, and they have actually put together a synopsis and a portfolio of how long it's going to take to actually make this business profitable. How profitable is it actually going to be in the long run? And actually, is it afford the cost of actually creating and working and going through the overhead to take to operate in this city? When can we start making a profit? I know. Go figure that shit out. Businesses want to make profit. I don't know. I don't know in Huntington where I don't know if we teach the capitalistic society, but that's what we have. We have a republic, and then we have a capitalistic society, and the object of anybody opening their business every day is make a little money, make mama happy. Somehow we forgot all about that along the way. So the businesses are required to shut up and pay me. And these individuals that are moving in, these businesses are going to require some things. In order for us to be profitable, you have to change the shit about your city. We have to have access. There's got to be a feasible road that gets to our store. We've got to have accessibility to get to our store. Not right off of Highway 69. Wherever I put my store, I should have people being able to come into my city. That goes in the configuration of the puzzle. Can I be profitable? Well, if I've got something involved in the city that keeps people from going to my store, or actually keeps them from going to my store, I ain't opening it. If I cannot make a salary, if I cannot make payroll within 2 years, I'm definitely wrong on my projections. I need to get the hell out of here. I need to cut and run. So now our city council says, well, put the appearance to the city. Well, appearance only goes so far, because I'm sorry, your brain science is here. Businesses and entities do research. That's what they're paid to do. It's how they make money. It's called prospecting. It's going out and looking at an area and see if it can be profitable for them. The quicker the better. But we have all but said last year in our city council meeting, we're not going to give them nothing. They should just be proud they're actually here. Well, that kind of attitude is going to get you kicked in the butt, because the guy says, I can go anywhere I want to. And as we see in our little area here, why in the hell would you want to take a chance on Huntington? Don't believe for a second that these entities do not also have the capability of looking at your financial and economic status of Angelina County. It don't look too good in here, people. We're broke. So why do you want to open a store in a place that's broke? Don't have no money. Where its citizens rely on one thing is that they want the cheaper price, so they're going to drive into Lufkin. You in our city does it. They go to Sam once a month. So it's that do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. I have a lot of people that come out and say, well, I'm contributing to Huntington. I am. I'm contributing. I do my part. Really? What have you done? Did you vote? Did you actually do anything besides sit back and bitch and talk about it, or actually just talk to each other and say everything's screwed up? However, Joe Blow over here is telling the truth, and he's screwed up. We just can't have him here. God forbid the truth get in here. Because we want to go up with the old idea that everything's hunky dory rosy while our $4 million debt is still rising. It hasn't fathomed or dawned on these individuals that are actually doing the bitching and complaining. You're going to have to pay for it. And just for your education, how are you going to pay for it? Well, I just get up and move. Good. The difference in what you sell your house for and what you owe on it, that's the amount you just paid City of Huntington. Or that's how you just paid to be able to have the opportunity to move. So instead of trying to work and change where you live and what is here, you'd rather move to another city, start this shit all over again. For those of you who actually say, well, I contribute, I buy gas. Okay, great, you buy gas here. But I'll bet you $1 to a donuts, I guarantee you, whenever the gas is cheaper in Lufkin, that's where you go. Hell, I even know people, they shop for the best gas. Some of them go all the way down to Zavala, I feel like. If it's cheap. We haven't grasped the concept that, you know what, in order to contribute, we may have to pay a few cents more. We might have to throw we might have to ante up and kick in to benefit our town down the road. That little extra money you might kick in actually goes to paying this man's bills so he can stay open here in Huntington. Now, economics and also accounting will show you the numbers. If you look at them right now in 2017, now going into 2018, you'll actually look at 2019 is going to be pretty slim pickings. Unless we pull a rabbit out of our hat and do something with this budget. Because behind this budget, all the money we owe, okay, and we were $4 million in debt, that's $4 million we can't improve our roads, improve our water, make this a better place to live. In other words, we're paying people, they get theirs first before we get ours. They're standing at the front door and say, pay me. Shut up and pay me. 50 cents on the dollar, bullshit. Pay me. Where we got over it, the fact is, you know what, people get in here and they actually lend Huntington money and say, oh shit, even if I sued their ass, I couldn't get my money back. And we use that as a bargaining tool, so we say, you know, well, even if you sued us, you can't get your money back because we don't have no money. One of the funniest things I heard was a friend of mine tell me that somebody negotiated a deal or telling how broke we were to negotiate payments on a loan that we had out. Meantime, they come back and save some kind of money. They went out and bought a damn new patrol vehicle instead of putting that money toward our debt. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is the city is working like your credit card. You have a limit, and on that limit, sometimes you have to set it yourself, because the fact is that when it costs them more, okay, and it's benefiting you, then you should put away that car. Now this we're looking at right now with $4 million in debt. That actually includes last year, 2017. We have not had a city council meeting. We've not had an update on what our finances look like, and we won't get it until we see the next budget to see how bad it is. The only thing that we've actually done to reduce our debt is we sold some equipment. Bet you $1 to donuts that equipment we sold, equipment we needed to fix the road with. So we're just digging a hole. And we try to hide it, and the hole gets getting bigger, and then people start asking where, how big is the hole gonna get? Pretty soon it's gonna be too deep and we can't fill it back in. That's all near to there, because see, that's the truth that we don't want to allow. Because it always is said that, well, it doesn't affect me, so it doesn't apply. I don't really care. Well, see, that's where you're wrong, because you haven't done your research and you haven't thought ahead. Like I said, with your property, a lot of individuals own more than 1 acre. They own 2, 3, 4 acres. Some people even own 10 acres, more than that. So it's not only your house that's depreciating, but the land that behind it you think is worth this. Guess what? It ain't worth that. Right now, your land and your property, right now, you're going to be lucky if you get 80%, 80 cents on the dollar. 75 if you have to go in to close and you actually have to put forth money to close the deal, to get enough incentive for this guy to go ahead and buy. So don't sit there and tell me this is not going to affect you. To give you an example, once you go down these back roads up here, all around the city, and just count how many for sale signs there are. Better yet, count the number of for sale signs that used to be there, and now they're not there no more because they couldn't sell their house. I've got places here on my road here, going by 69 on Gibson. People have tried to sell their property and they couldn't do it. Now they're vacant. It's not a good sign. Because somebody came up and said, shut up and pay me. Lost your job, I don't care, pay me. That is the real world that we live in, people. You cannot negotiate away from debt. Because it's like you're negotiating around money that you owe somebody. I didn't make the rules about the capitalistic society. It's just the way it works, and it's getting ready to hit Huntington, and we're not prepared. We don't know what to do. The Nature's River Authority already told us we can't even use their freaking equipment no more, that we was doing good old boy network. Well, let me use it for a little bit. I'll pay you a little bit on the side. We won't tell nobody. Well, the judge got on that shit and said, shut up and pay us. See, during all these shenanigans and all this is going on with the backroom deals and all this kind of thing where you can't get information, I challenge you once again. If you want to know the truth, and you don't want to know, and you want to know some from Sally Sue or Jim Bob or Billy Bob who lives down the street that heard from so and so, heard from so and so, heard from their cousin from them. If you actually want to know the truth, put it in a Freedom of Information Act. Put it in a crust. It's very different. It's very easy. Go to their website. It's got, it says contact us. Boom. Write them out. What you want. Now the game that they're playing right now with the county and also with the city is that they were playing because they're actually going through, and the city attorney and the county attorney said, well, you know, it wasn't working correct. I know you didn't make it specific enough. They got to write you back and say, well, they don't understand. You got to make it more specific. Make it more specific. In other words, don't let them pick that shit out of pepper. I want to know this information. What do you need to do to go get it? Now, another avenue of approach is the fact is that, okay, they're not going to answer my question. They don't have to. It's just a waste of time. Bullshit. If they don't answer your question, guess what? The Attorney General gets involved, and guess what? He's going to say, shut up and pay me. He's going to say, shut up and pay me, not in money, but for the individuals who won't allow this information to get out. What is your name? Pack your bags. I'll see you later. You'll get You get a notification when they appear in court. They will go to any extent possible to shut you up, even actually cost the taxpayers money to bring a frivolous case. It's not winnable. Just to make themselves look good, just to hide their secrets for a little bit longer. They don't want to be in a position where a citizen is actually coming to them and saying, shut up and pay me, which is where it's getting. Actually, the citizens are out actually saying that right now, after 5-10 years. Shut up, we want a road. Shut up, we want water. Or even just, shut up, we want you to pay attention to all those. And unfortunately, the deeds of our city government actually affects the merchants that are in the area. There's a false belief if they actually support city council and all that means that they're going to be profitable. They're going to be able to survive in their business as long as they make city council happy. I'm sorry, you can't serve two masters. Either your clients come first, and you fight for the actual individual client, so you can actually make money and actually fight for your business. So they do not get to determine what your profit margin is, or do you allow them to regulate your business to where what you can sell, what you can't sell, and tell you how you going to do it? I want to let you buy this piece of land over here. It ain't worth shit. Hell, when it rains, it's in the flood zone, and guess what? Can't get to it because it's too damn muddy. But we're not going to improve the roads leading up to your business because we can't afford it. We don't have enough money. So my question to you is this real quick, is that if we don't have no money, how we make a payroll every month? If we don't have no money, why are we allowing individuals to come back and sell back vacation time to cash out? And what does that tell you about the people who are actually working for the city who are cashing out their vacation time? What does it tell you about their belief that they're ever going to get their money? They're getting it right now, which should cause alarm to a lot of people. If you're working for the city right now, I would be on pins and needles. I would expect a layoff within 2018. Or it could be like this at Sam's Clubs that are closing. They show up at work one day, let's go, we close. How could that happen? Well, if the city of Huntington comes back in, and they owe too much damn money. So in other words, if they produce another document that says they can't pay their bills, it only takes one person, one bill collector, to come in and say, you know what, you're under injunction. Until you pay my ass, you can't operate in the city of Huntington anymore. Don't believe me? They can do it. So the only option that we would have is to actually file bankruptcy, Chapter 9 and Chapter 13. Chapter 13 will be reorganize our debts. In other words, we're going to be responsible to pay it, but they're going to actually negotiate for us, the court, on how much we have to pay back. Meanwhile, all this money that we're generating while this court procedure is going to take place, all that money goes into an escrow account to be determined where it goes after the proceedings. Now, this could draw on forever. As we see in the justice system down here, your case won't come together. Your case usually won't go to trial until after a year. You hire a city attorney, hell, 4 years. It's going on 4 years now. What they charge me with, I still don't know what the hell to charge me with. 4 years. And they don't even have a bit of discovery, but 4 years. You think in 4 years somebody can find a piece of paper and say, yes, somebody's guilty. Here's the proof. I don't know of any judge who is going to, I don't know. I would actually, if I did that to a judge, I would actually deserve and expect an ass shooting. You mean to tell me I can hear the judge right now. You mean to tell me you couldn't bring this shit up from 4 years ago? Now I'm dealing with shit from 4 years ago. And the judge is like, how backlogged are you? Isn't that case going to be 3 years old? That would be into the situation also. So, well, tell me you ain't doing your job, Mr. District Attorney. I need to have cases faster than this. We need to present cases faster than this. But it's just my opinion. But Huntington's getting ready to get slapped in the face with a bunch of shut up and pay me. Angelina County has actually tried to be on the ball and get above the 8 ball because they noticed their budget, if it continued until this year the way it was, they were going downhill and they couldn't get out fast enough. So they cut back. No more raises. Cut back the sheriff's department $2 million. $2 million that we paid sheriff's deputies around here to go around beat the shit out of each other. Beat the hell out of citizens, just because the fact is that that's their way of saying, pay me. I need $300 a day. Pay me, I'll put you in jail. Guess what? You got to come up with the fines and fees. Pay me. Because the situation has turned into the fact is that officers are judged on one thing now: how much money they can produce. How much money did you actually go out today and did you produce for us? We don't care how you do your job. We don't care about community-based policing. We don't care about you actually serving and actually keeping the peace. We don't care about that. What we care about is getting your patrol car, go out and make us some money. Escalate a situation to where you can hire the charge and get more money. It's not personal. You're just a tool they use to make more money. The higher the charge, the higher the fees. The higher, and then they get attorneys. They're working with them, and they're like, you know what, they get my money too. So it's all making money about making money. But yeah, pretty soon they can't pay. They can't pay what they owe. And the world is catching up to them to make them realize you can't compete in today's world because you haven't wanted to. You considered that the good old boy network, Mason Society, was going to protect you because you got it. A certain group of people that are together that are working in their own interest. Now, how does that play in? Well, I guess hey, you got greedy. Instead of actually letting civilians actually survive and make a living here, they choked us off so much. Hell, you can't. It's really hard to afford. It's really getting hard to afford to live in, huh? We have more rental properties than we do people who actually own property, or more renters than we do have people that are actually living on their own property. And they're kicking themselves in the ass every day because they don't live here because of the conditions of Huntington. Now they've determined out the conditions of Huntington are so bad that they ain't gonna get their money back that they paid for this house. A lot of these houses are paid for that they're renting. They looked at it as an investment to contribute to their retirement. Well, I'm gonna move to the lake and I'll sell my house there, and then I'll have enough money. You buy me a house or whatever. Guess what? You better look at the depreciation level, and you better look and see how much. You better get on the phone with the realtor, see how much your place is actually really worth. But no, that would cause an actual action that we'd have to do. We don't really want to hear bad news. So when the realtor, when you think that your house is worth $200,000 and they can only offer $180,000, and that's a stretch. That might get your attention. The lady we brought this house from just told us 5 years ago, Miss Leary, she was pissed off. She made me, I cracked up about her. She was pissed. I don't know if you liked her or not, man. She was pissed. She cracked me up. But anyway, she invited us over. Come look at the house. Don't need your realtor, leave them. Come look at the house. Well, we came over with a realtor anyway. She wanted $230,000 for this house because it's on Highway 59. Or 16. So we had already looked at many houses in this area, and you know, there wasn't anything close to $230,000 a day. We ended up buying this house for $182,000, and there's some change. Right here on Highway 69. The height of exposure. That was 5 years ago. Have you checked yours lately? You can call for an appraisal. They'll come out and do one for like $275. The appraisal, so you know exactly how much your house is worth. Realtor do comps in your area and actually come up with actually what your value is worth as well compared to your appraisal. I suggest you do that to see how much money you actually have. So, Huntington's to the level right now with our competitors. It's basically come up to this: shut up and pay me. We ain't got the money.